Don't understand why people don't like Ursula. I agree that she is evil, but still, Ariel signed the contract. The crab wanted her, the gold piece wanted her, and also the sexy father wanted her. Ursula sang the poor unfortunate soul, but still, she signed the contract. She did it for Pete and for Eric. He's not even cute.
They're in love.
Yeah,
Love. I don't care. He looks like a toothpaste.
Ursula stole her voice and then tried to sabotage
I don't care
her.
because Ursula is a businesswoman and that's called interest. It's a spoiled brat apple.
She doesn't know any better, ma. She's only 16.
She doesn't know any better, but they allow her to marry Eric. She got the permission of her father. I saw them stab Ursula with a sheep.
Yeah.
It hurts me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. As if I'm Ursula. You know, we are only doing business.
You're businesswomen, yeah.
Yeah, they cheated us. Moral of the story, Ursula is the victim. Oh my God.
Ursula was indeed a businesswoman. She was. I thought this video was really funny when it came across my FYP on TikTok. I had to save it and I had to come on here and talk about it because I talked about this on my Patreon in one of our meetings, but today I'm going to make a video dedicated for this topic. The topic surrounding the Little Mermaid. Now, in patriarchy, in order for you to be seen as a good woman, you always have to be willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice your life, sacrifice comfort, sacrifice everything. Your dreams, your goals, everything. And if you do not do that, the patriarchy cannot stand on its own. The patriarchy depends on women sitting in the sacrifice seat and putting all their energy and effort into supporting the patriarchy, that is getting married, taking care of a man, putting your dreams and goals on the back burner, focus on being a mother and always sacrificing while your man go off and make as much money as he possibly can, because in all reality, most men will never ever see the kind of success that society deems as successful. You know what I mean? Okay, for example, I suppose nowadays you have to be earning a pretty high income, an income that affords you to live in a good neighborhood, an income that affords you the privilege to take at least one vacation a year, that type of income, okay? That's how society deems success. You got the money, you got the income, 401k, investment in stocks and bonds, etc. And it's a very cookie cutter way to look at success. But most of this is not going to happen without the sacrifice of women. I saw a video where this guy, I believe his name is Casey Neistat. He's a vlogger or YouTuber here on this platform, but he was talking about how he basically left his family and was living in a halfway house or something like that. And, you know, he had to live on someone's couch and he did all of that so that he could become successful. Meanwhile, he left his child with his baby mama and he never talked about the sacrifice that she made. And he basically never talked about what she did and how he supported her, at least to my knowledge, because the video that I saw was just a clip of the video. I didn't see the entire interview or whatever it is. Now that you get the picture, I want you ladies to think back at a time where you sacrifice for a relationship or a marriage, and, you know, a few years within the marriage or the relationship is not working out and you had to leave, and then you look back and you think of all the things that you could have achieved, all the goals that you left on the back burner, and all this time have passed. And I want you to think about that, because this story, or this version of the Little Mermaid story I'm going to share with you, I want you to see how dangerous it is for you to sacrifice so much as a woman. On this platform, well, on my platform, meaning my YouTube, my Patreon, if you follow me on Facebook, I always tell women to put themselves first. There's no debate about it. Always put yourself first. Because if you do not take care of number one, you will not be able to take care of number 2, 3, and 4. Okay? You won't be able to do that to the best of your ability. So always take care of number one. And the reason why you must take care of number one is because if you don't, people will not respect you. Nobody respects the sacrifice. Nobody respects the person that sacrifices everything for other people. Nobody respects people pleasers. Now, let's get into The Little Mermaid. Now, for all of you that watch the movie, I'm sorry, but I did not watch the movie, but I read the book. I read the original story. The movie is an adaptation of the original story. And in the original story, there was not a happy ending, which is why I am bringing to light this story, because I want you all to know exactly how the story ends, how the author intended the story to end, not what Disney said. Because Disney and, Hollywood would brainwash you into thinking that if you sacrifice and you just sacrifice a little bit more and you give up this and you give up that and, you spend just one more year with this person and you just be a good girl and you be a good person, you are going to be rewarded. That only works in Disney movies and rom-coms. It does not work in real life. And it does not work in the original Little Mermaid story. So let me just walk you guys through the story. I remember reading this book as a child, so I'm just going to share the story with you. I'm going to be brief, and then I'm going to go straight to the ending. Now, in the story, remember, I did not watch the movie, so if there are similarities in the movie, just let me know in the comments. So in the beginning of the story, the prince that Ariel fell in love with was in some kind of shipwreck or something like that, and she saved him. Remember, at this point in time, she's still a mermaid, okay? So she saved him, pulled him out of the water. She brought him to the shore, and then people saw them and they were coming towards them. And of course, she's a mermaid, so she got scared and she went back to sea. So by the time he woke up, the person that was leaning over him was a woman. That was the first person he saw when he woke up, when he regained consciousness. Now, the prince does not know Ariel. He still does not know that she exists, okay? Fast forward, Ariel is in love with this guy that she saved. She wants to be with him. She wants to be human. She wants legs, etc. So she goes to the sea witch, Ursula. Now, I do not remember if her name was Ursula in the book, but let's pretend that it is, because honestly, I really don't remember if her name was Ursula in the original story. So she went to Ursula, and she told Ursula, why am I saying her name like that? She told Ursula, y'all, I cannot say Ursula. Okay. She told Ursula that she really wanted to be human. She wanted legs and she wanted to go get her man. And Ursula was like, yeah, girl, I can help you. I'm going to give you legs, but you know what? You have to give me your voice. And I guess she held on to the voice for insurance or something like that. I don't know why Ursula did that, but at the end of the day, you went to the sea witch, okay, girl? There are consequences. So, boom, she got the legs. And now she's on land, and now she's going to get that man. Imagine that. This girl is sacrificing everything for a man. She left her family, she left her home, left her friends, because I don't remember her having friends in the book. Maybe she did, but she left everything behind just so that she could have legs and that she could chase a man with them legs. Meanwhile, the prince doesn't know who she is. He does not know she exists. She has these legs, but she cannot speak. And guys, the entire time she had those legs, they were so painful. Every single step she made, and they said this in the book, every single step she made, it felt like she was walking on sharp knives. That's how it felt for her. That's how the book described it. So somehow or the other, she found the prince, and because they thought she was really pretty, and they did not know where she was from because she couldn't speak, I feel like they felt some kind of sympathy for her. So they brought her in the palace, and I guess she was living in the palace the whole time. But I remember she was just trying to get this guy to engage with her, and the guy basically saw her as a friend. He did not see her as anything else because he had already set his mind on marrying the woman that he assumed saved him on the beach that day. Now, listen carefully. Remember, she cannot speak. Nobody knows her name. And she probably couldn't read and write because at the end of the day, she's a mermaid. And she was very beautiful, of course. So she was entertaining to look at. Like, she would dance for the prince. She would dance for the prince. Like, yo, she was dancing and spinning around on them feet that hurt like hell. Remember, imagine you have legs and every single step you make, it feels like knives are sticking in your feet every single time. Imagine dancing on those feet, okay? Not even a pair of Christian Louboutins can cause that much pain. that they describe in the book. Eventually, long story short, the prince ended up getting married. He married to the girl. Now, Ariel is really sad. The little mermaid is really sad. So she went back to the sea witch because it did not work out. Because I believe she was supposed to get her voice if she managed to get the prince to fall in love with her and marry her. But she failed. Okay? She failed because one thing that we have to realize and understand is that language and being able to communicate with someone is so very important, because if there's no communication, there's no relationship. So she went back to Ursula and she told Ursula that, you know what, I want my life back. I want to become a mermaid again, blah, blah, blah. And Ursula was like, okay, you can get your life back, but you have one thing. All you have to do is this one thing. You have to kill the prince. And once you unalive him, you can get your life back. Ariel had one job, y'all. She had one job. I remember and the book that I read, it was illustrated. I remember looking at the picture of Ariel standing over the prince, the sleeping prince. He was asleep. She had the opportunity. And she was holding the dagger in her hand, and she couldn't bring herself to stick the dagger in his chest and get her life back because she was so in love and she just couldn't do it. And you know what she did? She dropped the dagger, went into the sea. She basically threw herself into the sea and she turned into foam. She no longer existed. That's how the story ends. This is how the story ends. That is how I remember reading the story. And if anyone is, old enough to remember the original story, let me know in the comments. But it did not end like Disney. They did not get married and live happily ever after. She and the prince never had a relationship, there was never a chance. She did not have a chance. She did not stand a chance. And Ursula knew exactly what she was doing because Ursula wanted her voice, because apparently Ariel was a really good singer. Like, she had a very enchanting voice. Because, mermaids are like sirens or whatnot, and, men used to hear these sirens singing and they used to draw the men in, and Ursula wanted that power. So Ursula made that deal with her and she lost. She lost. So again, Ursula is a businesswoman, right? And, guys, she jumped into the water and unalive herself. She turned into sea foam. She turned into nothing. And when I remember reading that story when I was younger, and I was so pissed. I was so angry. Like, I feel like if women were exposed to the real story, the original story, I don't think women would have these rose-colored glasses on when it comes to men and relationship. Now, what is the moral of the story here? Okay, the moral of the story is be careful what you wish for. That's the moral of the story. Because she really wanted this thing. She sacrificed so much, sacrificed her family, her life that she left behind. She could have married a male mermaid or whatever the hell they call them, and she could have lived a good life, but she fell in love with a human, fell in love with the wrong person. The love was never reciprocated, ever. Lost your voice, lost your life, and that guy went on to live happily ever after. I read the original of a lot of these stories, and I'm telling you guys, if you know how the story really ends, you're not going to be wishing for a fairy tale romance. Most of these fairy tale romances are so painful, and one of the things that people don't understand is a lot of these characters in these fairy tales are people that come from wealth. Wasn't Ariel's father a king or something like that? So I guess technically she was a princess. So it's like these aristocratic people getting together and marrying each other. That's basically what most fairy tales are like. Even Cinderella, because don't think for a moment that Cinderella was poor. She was not poor. Her father was a merchant, which is in today's standard an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur, y'all. Why can't I say that word? Anyways, yeah, he was an entrepreneur, and her stepmom had a title. Okay, her stepmom came from old money. Her name was Lady Trumaine or something like that. No regular person has a title before their name other than Mr. and Mrs. Okay, yeah, that's how the story ended. So anyways, ladies, you got to be careful what you wish for, because a lot of ladies are very misguided, because a lot of y'all in this community, you want to be taken care of and you want to be rescued. But at what cost? The only person that can take care of you and rescue you is yourself. You have to start investing in yourself and start fixing your life, getting your life together, so that when a man comes into your life, All he has to do is just add to whatever amazing life that you created for yourself. I would never tell you ladies to go and date a man to save you from financial struggle, you know, to save you from your bad financial decisions, so that you can stay in the house and be a stay-at-home mom and not make your own money or not do anything with your time other than being his wife and his maid and his chef or whatever. I would never encourage that, okay? Because the people that you guys are following, people like me, people like Shira, people like the Universe Guru and all these women that you're following, all of these women are making their own money. We are making our own money. All the soft life girlies that you're following are making their own money. So stop believing in fairy tales. Become very realistic with your goals, especially when it comes to dating and marriage. Okay, and stop dating for love. You need to date for lifestyle and financial security. That's what you need to date and marry for. The patriarchy wants us to want that fairy tale because at the end of the day, men, low quality men, low status men don't have anything to offer. They can't offer you a lifestyle. They can't offer you financial security. The only thing that they can offer you is love. And they're not even good at that, right? So they need you to keep watching these type of movies and believing that, you're going to find your soulmate and it's going to be so happy and you're going to run off in the sunset. They need you to believe that. That's the only way to hold up the patriarchy. When women stop giving low status men a chance and start working on themselves, investing in themselves, and stop sacrificing for men, you're going to see the patriarchy crumbling. And it is crumbling right now. Times are changing. People are still going to get married because one thing you're going to know for sure is that wealthy people will always get married no matter what happens. So if you want marriage, you have to focus on elevating your status and elevating your finances so that you can attract men of certain status and caliber. Most people marry people within their class. It's very rare for upper class people to marry outside of their class. It happens, of course. Some women, I guess, are very lucky, but I don't deal with fairy tales here. Look at the numbers. Look at the studies and the research. If you want to attract wealth, you have to become wealthy yourself. So focus on building your own wealth. Focus on sacrificing for yourself and not for others. Focus on putting yourself first. Focus on making sure that your own self-interest is being met and your needs are being met. You need to focus on that. And stop believing in fairy tales. Take off them rose-colored glasses, okay? What I want you to do, if you are a member of my Patreon, I want you to go up on my Patreon and listen to the truth about men. Once you listen to this, your life will change. The way you view men, relationship, and dating will change. You will make better decisions when it comes to men. Ask anyone who have watched this. They will tell you, this is my best performing video on my Patreon to date because it's really that good. I've had a bunch of women that came on that panel and talked about their experience, and I even invited sex workers. So these women really and truly know the truth about men. So yeah, so if you are a member of my Patreon and you missed it, go ahead and watch it. If you are not a member and you're interested, just sign up and go and watch it, girl. And I promise you, them rose-colored glasses will be gone forever. The reason why I did the Truth About Men series is because I wanted women to see the shadow side of men and accept the shadow side of men so that you will make better decisions when it comes to dating, all right? So anyways, that's all I wanted to say about The Little Mermaid, okay? Just be careful what you be careful what you wish for. Stop chasing men. All Ariel did was chase this man around. Y'all, in the story, all she did was chase him around. And every time she tried to get close to him, he was always with that girl. And the very few moments she had with him, she could not speak. So what was the point? She took a really bad deal from Ursula. Remember what we said in the book club. And for those of you that don't know, I have a book club on my Patreon. I highly recommend you join. You don't have to read the books, ladies, because you can just come and attend the meeting or listen to the replay and listen to the reading and the discussion, and you will get something from it, I promise. But yeah, in the book club, we said when we were reading How to Negotiate, we was reading a book about negotiation. I can't remember the name of the book off the top of my head right now. But the author basically said that no deal is better than a bad deal. It's better that you do not get a deal than to get a bad deal. Getting a bad deal, getting the shitty end of the stick is worse than no deal at all. And of course, Ariel did not know this, all right? She went into that contract because she was so desperate and she was so in love with this guy. She could not see ahead. Ursula did. And this is why, ladies, you have to listen to older women because older women have been there, they've been through it, and they know. They know. This is why men like to pit older women and younger women against each other because they know that by the time you hit your 30s and your frontal lobe is all developed and stuff like that, they know most of those men will literally be cut out of your circles. They will literally be fished out and thrown away from the dating pool. They know it. So yeah, those are my thoughts today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.